So hopefully you can see and hear. But I'm trying to get caught up, get everything done. So I'm in the 9650 and trying to get some more bean ground worked up. I'm not sure with the way I got the camera taped up whether I'll be able to read comments. I might have went overboard with the tape. Might have to stop and do something about that. Somebody said good evening. I'm gonna have to stop and fix the tape. I can't see what people are saying. Let's see here. You would think that I knew what I was doing by now. However, I do not. There we go. I think now I should be able to read whatever people put. Howdy, glad to see you're getting it done. Just a call from a guy who wants to buy Eli's found an Oliver pull-type combine. That's good. I'd like to have one of those too, but they never seem to come around close by. I'm not sure if you can hear me very good or not. I have no idea. Good evening, says Jeff. Good evening to you too. It's been a struggle this year to get stuff done. I have fought 10,000 little problems on everything. So there's still 3 or 4 more videos coming out on the 4180 and the issues I had with it. All just little nonsense things. Craig and somebody else said they could hear me fine. I always enjoy your videos. Hope you have better luck tonight. Also found 3 combines in the boneyard. So we'll have plenty to do if you can get all those brought home. I have to remember not to do something stupid like pick my nose or whatever while we're doing this. I'm not built for live TV. I don't know if you can handle the unclucked version or not. So it's always a struggle when you are one-man operation. Absolutely. You will see in the upcoming videos, my cousin actually helped me with his tractor and planter, and he planted some corn while I was doing beans to try to get caught back up, and that really helped. So I'll probably have him help me over here too, if he can find the time to do that. Although that was not without a struggle too. He had trouble with his planter, which is the other green. So we'll see. Are you drying up where you're at? No rain. Yes, it's getting very dry. There is a slight chance of rain tomorrow afternoon. Like I want to say 30% chance, and then I think the next day there might be a 20% chance, and then it's 0% for the next few days. Yes, thank you, Mike. All is going well so far. It is dry. It took a long time to get that way, it seems like. My biggest problem is too much stuff to do, and I couldn't get anything done. We've been pouring rain all day. You live pretty far away, so I imagine that's probably the system that's coming down here tomorrow. Anyway, I don't think that my biggest holdback was weather as much as it was too many things to do that other people needed me for. And I'm too nice to say no and end up having to work twice as hard for myself. So It was supposed to do something. Any corn in the ground yet? Yes, I have some corn in the ground at home. That's what I was talking about with my cousin planted. Good evening. How's the 1365 running? Excellent. I'm actually thinking about taking it to a show this weekend. There is a show at our fairgrounds, and the Oliver Collector chapter thing that I tried to start is going to have an area for tractors set up there. The show is featuring international, but anyway, they're going to have an area for us to set up and play, and I'm thinking about taking the 1360 and I'm going to take the 500. It's going to go with a cultivator behind it because they want to do a display with old equipment. Let's see here. Did you see I got my ZTS out of the barn? I've been way behind on watching YouTube videos. It's just been very difficult to get anything done. Somebody asked about the 1355. I took the injectors in and he still got them. The tips were all smushed, as you may recall, because when I got it, somebody already had the head off and the one was already pretty well flattened over. I don't know. I didn't do it any favors either, but it's working on it. I think our 1465 is getting worn out. It's having trouble pulling a 3-bottom plow. Yeah, that tractor should be able to pull a 3-bottom pretty easy. Okay, let's see. Get smarter here. How to use it. I have well, I can't read very good. I have something. Drop a dead chicken on the driveway. And something. Spark. Good or bad luck this planting season. I'm having average-ish luck, I would say. Today hasn't been too awful bad. I did have to stop this morning and I don't even remember what it was now, but I had to fix something. You should try not to smush your tip. No, you're right. That's good advice for any man. But anyway, you can't do much when you buy it from an auction. So don't lend your tip out to somebody else. It might come back flat. It is never good, yeah. Never good when your tip gets smushed. Depending on, well, we'll just leave that there. I don't know. Somewhere along the line here, I lost my fresh service Mountain Dew. This one's from the other day. Grandpa bought it in 2008, 750, supposedly over 100,000. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good price for it anyway. At that price, you can afford to put some money in it, so that's good. 1100 sickle bar mower. Oh, that'll be fun. That's something you can actually play with, so that'll be nice. I'm resisting the urge to turn on headlights as long as possible because all it's going to do is make the dust cloud light up and then you won't be able to see. What did you say? It looks like the 9650 is running right along. So far, yes. I don't want to jinx it. It had its big acting up spell last year with that front wheel seal. So I hope it's got all that out of its system because I really don't want to have to do that again. I saw on Facebook somebody was doing that to a silver one of these, and I thought, I've been there. He actually made a nice seal driver for it. That looked like a pretty good idea. You misplaced your Mountain Dew. Yes, I don't know what I did with it. I got my secondary one from the other day. I guess I'll have to drink it. It's probably warm after being in the sun all day. average. Not bad, but not good. I got planting without any problems, but now everything went to crap. What did it do? Start raining and make a mess? Because that's what I figured was going to happen if I had done it earlier. I was afraid to plant. This clay is not like what a lot of people have. I mean, it's very particular. It can be too wet one day, and then it can go into being too dry, and then if you plant it too deep and it rains on it real hard, it'll crust over and it'll never come out of the ground. So, any progress on any of your combines? No. I've been thinking about that. I need to do something with some of them, but right now that is a super low priority. So, yeah. No rain. All the tractors are breaking down. Yeah. It seems like I feel your pain, because I guess I shouldn't reveal the secrets of future videos, but my 1655 has a bad issue, so I was spreading fertilizer with it, and it is out of commission now. I'll trade you a Wheatland combine. No, I don't think so. I think I'd rather have the 7300 than a Wheatland combine. We have some of the same kind of clay. It's great. It's like concrete. You're right. It is. When it gets that crust on it, that's it. I mean, nothing will come out. So you got to do a lot of second guessing to figure out, do you or don't you? Because if you, yeah, I mean, if you plant it in there, you're just wasting your time. The 1650 is sitting there waiting for me to get time to mess with it again. I think it'll be pretty simple. I need to get that done because he probably wants it back. But I've been working 16 hours a day at least, and I need a little bit of sleep, so I can't do it. I worked on the barn till late last night in the dark till I couldn't hardly see what I was doing to try to get that lean-to built back. I didn't film that, but can't find. It sounds like you need the rotavator on something on standby at all times. Yeah, that might help. I don't know. I can't find any soybean combines, and I got egg again. Oh yeah, you'll find one. Just be patient. We bought something. I need to make a better camera mount here, or I should have brought the iPad with me so I could read the comments, because the vibration is making it, the print is so small that I can't always catch it in time, and then it disappears. We bought our Oliver 5555 last fall, but brought it home, but it turns out it's a Kaksha 555. That's unusual. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. I know where there's a 5555, but he won't sell it to me. Be patient. Hello from Tennessee. How's the weather in Tennessee? Is it pleasant? It's really, actually, I can't complain about that here. Usually this time of year, it is hot and humid, and it is, in the morning time, you almost have to wear a coat. So it's very pleasant here. I can't complain about that. It's hot in Tennessee. So, yeah, I'm really surprised. It's supposed to get warmer, I think, tomorrow. But beautiful weather this weekend. Yes, it was excellent weather this weekend. I wish it was like this all year round. It's nice up here in the thumb of Michigan, but we need some rain soon. Yes, rain would be a good thing. I can't deny that. I mean, I'd like to, of course, get this done, but I'd also rather not plant it just before a hard pounding rain. So white. Still down, no. I just got out of it and drove it home and got this. That thing has been very cantankerous this spring. The worst it's ever been since I've owned it. It was really great the first few years, but this last year it was really gonna get the lower 90s this week. That's the way it's supposed to be here. Hey there, Mr. RCT Farms. He's from around here. When school lets out, I'll take it you all have more time working in the fields. That's what's happening right now. School let out on Friday, so I've been pretty well in the tractor all the time. You don't have it. I hope you don't have any more breakdown. I hope I don't have any more either. Even something. Even the unusual at the... Oh, north. Okay. I got you. I got some pumpkin plants popping up. Well, that's good. I don't really know much about pumpkins other than growing them for leisure, so I don't know. On a grand scale, you know, when you do what. I actually worked on a part of a what do they call that? A water wheel for a guy. So he was explaining to me how that all worked to plant the stuff like that. But anyway, side note. Yeah, pumpkins, if you are not having rain, I think that is probably worse for pumpkins than about any crop because they need a lot of water. Is farming your full-time job? One of my 4 or 5 full-time jobs. I mean, farming, I'd like to get where farming was the only thing I had to do, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. Everything I planted is dried, looking good, but they definitely need water, yes. How many Olivers do you have? Well, I started counting again the other day, and I got up to like 38 tractors, I think. But there's a few of them that aren't Olivers, as you've seen in the equipment tour videos. There's a couple Deeres, a Ford. I've got some cockshunts that haven't ever been really on film. So, but some of those off-brand things are not runnable. So, more projects for some point in time. But yeah, I don't have enough if I only have 38. I need a few more. I need a nice even number, like 40 or maybe 50 or 80. I don't know. How many is... I buy tractors. I don't know. It would probably be cheaper to do something else. Ross needs a 2255. That is on my wish list. I really would like to have one. Somebody had told me he might sell me one here in the future, but I got to do some fundraising for that. Do you have any international harvester equipment? I do have I have a 2-bottom plow on steel. That's an international. And I have what would it be? 13-foot or so grain drill that my great-grandpa bought new, and I need to pull it out and get it out of the dirt and see if it's even salvageable. It's in the shed, but what else here? 1555 utility. Yeah, I'd like to have that. I have a 1900C. I'd like to have a GM at some point. I don't have any front wheel assist ones yet, but I don't know. I might in the future. Just depends. The price is the big factor on those. I have a hard time paying too much for something that I don't know if I would use it all the time. So, let's see here. Any Massey Fergusons, and what is your opinion on the brand? I don't have any Massey Fergusons. I haven't ever owned any Massey Fergusons. I don't really have any opinion, good or bad, on them. I guess I do have an opinion. The only opinion I have on a Massey Ferguson is that I always thought that the hydraulic system was a little overcomplicated for what it was doing. And anyway, that's my only opinion on that. You don't have any Olivers with the Detroits? No, I do not. If you missed the equipment tour videos, that was about a year ago. I have playlists with all the videos. If you visit my channel, you can go back and watch those videos. That 55 series part of the video is probably the most watched video I have. Let's just take a breather here so I can answer some comments. You don't have any Olivers with the Detroits? No, I just did that. Don't do that to yourself. Get a gun. It's a hot and leaky garbage at best. Oh, I guess you're talking about Massey Ferguson's. We have a 2255 from what it says, unfortunately, it's an unexpected. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a bummer when the motor comes apart. Maybe you could do some horse trading for Losey for, yeah. We might have to work on that. Hi, Eric. Good to see you. Alright, back to work. GM, Eli says. There we go. In case you're wondering, this is a Landau 875. I think it's 15 foot wide, I can't remember. The 9650 pulls it in 9th gear, so, and it does a decent job. I have to watch next to the fence that I don't hook it and wipe out. I did not have the camera with me today. The batteries were dead, and I should have, because I had an incident to rival, that's what I worked on this morning. It rivals Losey's guide wire off the power line. I found some woven wire fence in the middle of the field and got it all wrapped up around both back axles on the 4180 before I saw what was happening. So we had to cut that off, and luckily it didn't destroy anything on the tractor. Let's see. Great, and I always enjoy your commentary. Thank you. I try to keep it interesting. Sometimes it's probably not fit for human consumption, but I'm not scripting anything. I think people misunderstand that. A lot of the nonsense I come up with just is off the top of my head. Good grief, what's happening here? Oh, it's I know what it is. When I left with the disc a while ago, it made some waves in the ground. Alright. Let's see here. I hope we get some rain here soon. Yes, I hope so too. Let's see here. I'm losing my focus. As an aspiring farmer, I need a small starter tractor. I have an eye on an Oliver 60. In your opinion, can a 60 do all that a small farm needs? The only thing I would say bad about the 60, if you were going to use it every day, two things I suppose. Number A, engine parts are getting hard to find for that particular Waukesha engine. And number two, the tractor doesn't have a 3-point hitch and really no way to add one on. So if I was going to only have one tractor on a small farm, I would probably get a 550 or a Super 55, because you could do about anything with that little tractor. Alright, what else? Haven't watched your videos, keep up the commentary, I answered that. Rain soon. Looks like a nice transmission in this tractor. Yes, 18-speed power shift, made by Funk. I Hope I never have to rebuild it because I heard that they get bright, but it is definitely something I like to drive. It goes super fast on the road too. Hey, Wisconsin Oliver Net. I have some projects I need to work on for him. You guys will see that in the future whenever I get around to getting that done. CT Farm asked how many horses is the 9650. It's 150 horse. That's where they get the 50 from, I believe. I have to go to school till Thursday. Yeah, that's a bummer. Wisconsin Oliver Net, you may be ready to sell your 430. Well, that's up to him. Hey, Farron, how you doing? We once found a whole bunch of mailbox letters in a field. That's, I bet that would be interesting. We could use some rain in south central Kansas. I think pretty well everybody is in the same boat. It is awfully dry for as early as it is. So, hopefully that will come soon. I've been trying to pick up a 1650 or 55. Still no luck. Sky High, yes. I would say that, actually, I guess I would retract my statement. On a small farm, yeah, a 550 or Super 55, but a 1650 or 1655 is probably about as reliable as it gets, especially a gas one. They start all year, so if you only had to have one tractor, a 1650 or 55 would be big enough to do a lot of stuff, but still small enough that you could get it into places. So that would be something I would go for too, but the Super 55 550 would be great if you need a utility size tractor. But if you apply my patented method of tractor use, buy both. Why limit yourself to just one when you could have 20 or 30? There's always a good reason to buy more tractors. 6 days left of school. Yeah, I felt like this school year really blew by. I mean, it feels like we're getting out way earlier than normal. So, but I'm glad because I was over it. I need a break. Okay, comments. Where did you go? Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job here right now because I'm getting sidetracked with camera work. I like your sayings on there, makes it interesting, yeah. I come up with some strange stuff. Are you streaming this off your phone or GoPro? It's off my phone, and it is taped to the rear view mirror on the 9650. There is no metallic surface inside this cab that you could really stick a magnet to. I should probably rig up something in here for a better application. Do you have any info, Oliver? Owner ID cards. If you're talking, are you talking about those plastic credit card size things? I have probably a dozen or so of them, but I don't know anything about what the procedure was. I have some from different eras, all the way from Keystone logo up into where it says White Farm Equipment and that, so I don't really know what the deal was with those. I don't have any for the stuff that we own, so maybe that was something the dealer had to do and our dealer didn't do it. In northeast Wisconsin, it's hopefully going to rain all week. We need it. Yes, we do need rain. Comments, where did you go? Yes, the plastic cards. Yeah, that's all I know about them. First year high school flew by. Enjoy high school because it's one of the most fun times of your life, I will tell you that. My Oliver 55 came with 2 Uh-oh, I messed them up. I got a screen that says something. I'm working on installing. They fly by so fast I can't read all the comments, but I'll get to it here in a second. Like everything, let's just procrastinate and it will work better. We're on installing the Ross front end loader. Oh yeah, hey, David, yeah, he bought the loader off of the 1355, so he's going to put it on a 1450, so that'll be pretty handy. I think that size tractor with a loader would be pretty handy. My 1900 was a custom off production line build. It doesn't have a build card. That's interesting. Videos on Oliver and White tractors. Keep making. I'm trying very hard to. I don't know what possessed me to decide to try to do a video every day, but I actually enjoy the editing. So, hey Scott, good to see you. I'll keep my 4 tractors. They do everything I need. That's good. But anyway, like I was saying, I've been trying to do a video every day. Kind of an experiment to see if it makes the channel grow more. It definitely has increased the amount of money that I make, because naturally you get more views, you get more money. But and that is not saying that I'm just doing this only for the money, but anything I make off of YouTube, I spend back on YouTube, so I can buy more toys, and that's what I kind of have in my mind as far as that goes, because it's getting awfully hard to justify to the tax people buying old tractors when they don't always. I try to use them on the farm, but you know what I mean. So now it's a YouTube business expense, see? So the YouTube money gets reinvested back into YouTube. So the more that we get off of that, the more interesting stuff hopefully I can do, more interesting technology I could buy, such as the next big thing I want to do is get a drone that will follow me around. I haven't got that done yet, but I've looked into them. Let's see. So a 60 can do all the pull type implements, yes. So if you have a whole bunch of pull type implements, I suppose you would be fine, because the 60 was a main tractor on a lot of farms for years when they were new. You just have to make sure that you've got all the stuff to go with it. We'll get to the end here and I'll take another comment break, because again, the vibration, for whatever reason, I'm sure there's a way to set the thing so it doesn't just fly away, but the comments seem to vanish almost immediately. So let's take a quick break and read comments. What 3-point stuff can you think of a small under 20 acre farm would use? Well, you can get almost any implement as 3-point, and I don't know, it just depends on what you're doing. The biggest thing I would think that maybe it would be handy for 3-point is like grater blades, stuff like that. 3-point bush hogs are easier to find than pull types, I think, in a reasonable price range, especially something small. It might be different in your area, but the 60 would be good if you have all the stuff you need. I think editing is relaxing. I agree. I do it on my iPad, so I can sit in my recliner and do it, and it's fun. It's something that challenges your brain, and I like that. Wish you could get a build card for a 1950, but the plate is so jacked can't read. You might be able to get the number off the engine and call them. Some of the tractors, they can cross it over from the engine serial number, so you might check that out. We have 2 whites on our farm, hoping to acquire more in the near future. That is a good move. they're still good tractors that can do a day's work. I don't know how I will justify 6 Oliver combines when I have to pay taxes. Well, I don't know. Oliver videos, a friend of mine had a 1950 diesel that was the best tractor I saw in the field, plowed with it. Yes, I enjoy watching those out in the field too, and the sound they make. Gonna do the whole process of haying a field with the 60 as good in road into farming. The 60, I think you could get implements to do hay. You'd have to get like a sickle mower to mount on it probably, and it would pull a small square baler. But I'm sorry I had to break it up after the $88 watching your channel because you're showing the tractor I grew up on. Yep, that's part of what I am doing this for. I think it's fun for people to see equipment like what they grew up on. If any of your followers are interested in my 1850 diesel, it's for sale here in western Oklahoma. Well, that'd be a great tractor to buy if somebody's looking for one, because 1850 diesel is one of the best. I definitely appreciate the daily videos, and I get a little grumpy if I'm busy and can't watch them right away. Well, I'm glad that people have that reaction and not that they are sick of it. Alright. There we go. Alright, back to it again. 7, 8, 9. There we go. Hi. Somebody said hi. Hi, Ron. I need 552 combine. No, Vinny, no, I do not. We're at the Floyd County Museum. Think I was used by the experimental department. That's super cool if that is the case. And sadly, you will probably not find much information on it. That is just the nature of the beast. But, yeah. So, experimental tractors are cool. However, I don't know if I would want to own one. I'm not opposed to it, but I would always be afraid that I would break it, and then, you know, people would be mad that I ruined one-of-a-kind stuff. So, anyway, but I do like experimental tractors, and that's super cool if you can find one. I usually watch your videos at my second running CNC lathes. That's neat. I got another friend, well, the Mama Bear's Homestead and More, Dirk. He watches my videos while he's working because he has a job where he has to monitor equipment running and basically just sit in front of a screen. So he's got a lot of free time. Second job, yeah. Do you have that 60 that you did a series on? Yes, I have both of them. I just haven't had time to work on them. It's sitting in the barn right now because I had to move it because that lean-to blew down. So that's my biggest struggle right now. I need to get back to, I need to get this farming done so I have free time to work on those buildings and get that done, because I got thousands of dollars wrapped up in repair that I really would like to be reimbursed for. And I also have everything is scattered all around and sitting outside from having to tear down the buildings to fix them. And I really want that done too. That is causing me a bunch of stress and frustration. And somebody actually commented to me yesterday, said, "Boy, it looks like you're losing weight. What are you doing?" And I said, having a lot of stress and not getting any sleep. So, yeah. But I want to get that done, is what I'm saying. How does the artist get up to get upset I think my new plan here is going to be, I will make a few rounds and then stop and read comments because I'm not able to see it. But I still like spending time with you, so we'll do that for a while, and then I'll stop and catch up on the comments. But I want to make sure that I'm still working and not just playing. I wish you could get it all done and take a break. I do too, because I am getting wore out. And I have probably, I probably have a dozen videos waiting to be edited right now from the footage from the last few days. I edited 5 yesterday, and they're not all short either. There's some of them, the next few ones that'll be coming out, there's some that are like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but there's some that are 40 minutes long, and that's a lot of footage to sit through and edit. So, anyway, yeah. You can see the struggle of having headlights on. I'm sure you can't see anything behind me, but I can kind of see a little. I'm pretty close to done. I'm not, maybe about 3 acres or so away from being done in this field, and then that'll be it for tonight. Somebody asked about crop rotation. I try to do corn, beans, and wheat. However, this last year I did not get any wheat planted. I kind of needed a break from wheat. I don't have enough bad things to say about wheat, it seems like, because nobody around here really wants it anymore. When you have the grain, it's very hard to get rid of. They're very, very, very super particular at the elevator about taking it. If they find one little thing wrong, you're up the Brown Creek without a paddle. One year, I took a load of wheat in there. They have to do a test to see if the place that they sell it to will take it. And they did the test, and they said it was good to go. And I dumped it, and I went home. And when they sent the check, and 4 or 5 days later, they gave me $1 a bushel for it. And if I had known that, I would have never dumped it. I would have took it back home and sold it on the internet to people, because that is just about robbery. I mean, that really kind of hurt my feelings. So that was the beginning of my not happy time with wheat. And then the other thing is, when you're doing it, you're in a mad rush to get it done, because here I plant double crop soybeans after it. So you got to get it out and get it out of here. And that is not the case everywhere you raise it. A lot of places raise wheat, and then that's it. They follow it with nothing, and then they have time to do whatever, play with plows and that kind of stuff. And so you're doing that, you're in the rush to get it done, and then on top of it, it's usually 140 degrees with 98% humidity, and it's miserable, and it's dusty, and you don't feel good while you're doing it. And so I kind of made a conscious decision not to plant wheat this last year, because I needed a rest from that. But I really want to play with all my toys, and that kind of puts me in a predicament, because now, you know what I'm saying? I don't have any wheat, but my cousin does, so we're going to pull that pull-type combine over there and work on that. And I kind of got into a sermon, but the question was about crop rotation, so corn, beans, and wheat, and I try to just rotate it around. I'm still doing things the old way, where the fields are broken up into like 15-acre chunks or so, and I rotate it around. I've really had thoughts of doing like one entire farm in one crop and another farm in another, but I don't know. I've got cows at home, Dad's got cows. Some of the ground is by itself, so that's not as big a deal, but I like to try to have corn in one field at both of the places, so that the cows can go out and you can get some benefit off of the feed of it. And that's more organic matter back in your soil, but I don't know. It just depends. But that's my plan usually. We also always did rotate in, we would rotate in hay. Let's go back and answer some more questions. Let's check also to make sure check our gauges and make sure everything's fine. Okay. What kind of crop rotation? That's the question I gave into the sermon. How far back do I have to go? Oh, this is the question I couldn't read. How does Artist get up? I took it upset when I can't watch him pop up. That's the first one I watched. Yeah, I try to do it, but it's not easy to get them all done. And if I understood what you're saying right, there is some artistry to making videos. It does appeal to that part of your brain because it is creating something. My newest project is a bunch of all of our equipment we got for free. That's super duper cool. Free equipment I like, no matter what the brand. That is neat. It'd be interesting to see what you do with that. I'll be grumpy if I can't watch your videos. Yep. I'm trying. Don't let it eat you up. Yeah, I know. It's easy to get burned out. I just finished putting my rebuilt hydraulic pump on my 1855 and fixing some leaks. I got on YouTube and saw you were live. Your 1755 videos really helped. You are welcome. I'm glad that some people get something out of it. I'm not saying I'm an expert on every subject, but I know a few things about a few things. I wish and hope you can get it all done. Take a break. Yes, crop rotation, did that. Rate your Oliver combines from worst to first. I don't know. I like them all. I don't even want to go there. I don't know. I like how your mind wanders when you're in the right mood. Yes. If you hung out with me in person, my mind wanders a lot. So, I have a hard time actually doing this. The YouTube thing is not easy because sometimes when I edit, I realize it doesn't make any sense and I need to put the pieces together or go back and do a voiceover so it all ties together. Dust clouds, I've seen them too. Yes, Scott, they are plentiful. My understanding, white tractors are popular in Indiana. Yes, there was a ton of them here, especially in my county. There was probably an Oliver on every farm. We had an excellent salesman, and yeah. Have you ever grown popcorn? I remember a lot of popcorn grown in your area. It was more down south of me, and I never got into that. I don't know where they took it. I think that the plant closed, so I don't know that really many people do that anymore. But I would grow it for my own consumption because I love popcorn. I could eat a bushel basket of popcorn. Bipster! What's going on? Not much. What's going on with you? I need to get caught up on YouTube and see if you got any new videos out lately. Wow, that insulting. What did I say that was insulting? I don't know if that's referring to me. Maybe I said something that's insulting. Seth says, I have no idea. Yeah, if you hang out with me in person, you will be offended. So, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Automatically hit the like button before I watch. Well, that is awesome. Thank you, Craig. Dust is dusty. And the same thing happened with my wheat, so I quit growing. Yes, it was getting very frustrating. Wheat is the staple in your area. Yes, out in that area it is. And out west in the plains, I guess they just know that everybody's growing it, so they're more set up for it. Thanks for the info. I'm used to seeing high horsepower big tractors. I think you would have a lot of fun farming on a 60. I've often been tempted to, unlike other farmers who want to keep getting more and more ground, I've been tempted to cut it back and just farm with small stuff all the time. It's every 4 years, right, Ross? You rotate, yeah. So basically that's every 3 years. How many acres do you do? All of them. Yeah. Tyler, a 60 does not have a PTO like a 60. That's true. Wisconsin Oliver Nut pointed out a good fact. If you are looking for a tractor with a live power takeoff, the 60 is not it. It will stop when you step on the clutch, so that might affect your decision. Bipster, late to the party. I don't remember when I started. It says I've been doing this for 50 minutes. That's hard to believe. Thank you for chatting tonight, try to get some rest. I will here in a little bit, hopefully. Thanks, Oliver. None, I watched your video in the 60 many times. Can I use an overrunning clutch on the PTO? I think you probably could. Your 660 is one of my bucket list tractors. I'd like to find one of those too. You don't see many around here. Still love Oliver's. My dad owned 90 from the late 40s. Hello from Virginia. That's pretty cool. I don't know what time it is out there. It's 10 o'clock here. Tyler, some people do. Craig, thanks. Can't wait to see where the 1355 goes. I know. I really want to get back on that. Oh, Seth says the dollar bushel wheat. Yes, that really was very depressing. But what do you do? Move on, I suppose. Just got home from the in-laws. Only video was from the mud bogs on Saturday. About a week away from pulling season. Then it's like 3 weeks till August. Pretty cool. Also, hello from Oregon. Pretty cool. 9:49, Ford Tractor Man says, so it's the same time there as it is here. So that's interesting. I never know how the time changes work. Hello from Mississippi. All right, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we can go back to what we're doing here, I think. We can. We might have to make a loop. I think I missed it. Whoops. We'll take another comment break in a minute. If I see something I can read, I'll start preaching another sermon on it, and then we'll go back and revisit from there. I think tomorrow's project number 1 needs to be cleaning all of the cab glass, because it's getting so dirty on both of them I can't hardly see the changes, especially at night. I'm trying. Yeah, you can all just talk to each other while I do this for a little bit, and then we'll catch up again. Gotta go. I think somebody said they gotta go. Gotta get up at 5 a.m. A long ways away. Good night. Good night to you, David. I don't envy you having to get up at 5 a.m. Since we did not have any school, today was the first weekday that I've been able to sleep in a little bit, and that was really a nice feeling. But yeah. So somebody said if I think work on Monday, fix on Tuesday, but that is kind of my approach to Sunday. Some people farm on Sunday. I absolutely try not to, because I don't care if the weather's nice. Every single time I try to do something on Sunday, everything gets destroyed. So yesterday was Sunday. I went out to lunch with my mother, and then I went around with her to whatever she needed done, and then yeah, I figured it would wait a day. And it did kind of sprinkle rain about noon, so you know, I just don't. I got out of the habit of that, because it seemed like every time, even growing up, every time we'd work on Sunday, you'd destroy something, and then it was 3 times as much work to fix it all the next day and get going again. And maybe that has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but I've just decided that I'm going to try not to do it. I mean, if it's the kind of situation where I'm waiting on somebody else to do something for me, I really don't have a choice, like the combine people. But yeah, I'm going to try just to stick to the work day or work week. I take Sunday as my rest day. need to read up on this and see how I can make these comments stay. Because I can't see. That Oliver guy is there. I see. Work on Monday. Yeah, he's on. He said work on Monday, fix on Tuesday. Yeah, like I said earlier in the thing, I think I rivaled him today with my wire wrapping skills. I sent him a picture of it when it happened, but I had already pulled most of it off, and we ended up cutting off the rest of it to get it out. It was all wadded up under the tractor, wrapped around both axles, and I was super worried that it was going to punch a hole in one of those $2,000 tires, but I have no idea how it ended up that far in the field, because it's not like I hooked it with the disc and drug it out there. I must have just run up over top of the wad of wire. So, yeah. It says 111 people are watching. That's hard to believe that 111 people would want to look at this for 50 minutes at a time. But whatever. I like being in this 9650 cab. It's a pretty nice place to ride, but I do like riding in the open station tractors, and the reason I brought that up is the other day when I was planting soybeans on the 1855, you'll see that video in a few days. I was thinking while I was driving that I couldn't be happier than I was at that moment. That was like my happy place. Planting those beans at the 1855, and everything was working and it was going great. And that went on for a little while, and then the phone started to ring, and then I almost threw it in the center of the field. But yeah, I really like doing the work and being on the tractors, and I like being out in the open, in the outside. Yeah, that Oliver guy says he must confess that the cab is comfy. So if you don't know, these are the cabs that we used for the cab confession video, because they are identical. His 61, whatever that is, 6145, and the 9650 are essentially the same tractor, except mine's got a Deutz engine. So, yeah. It is very comfy. It's actually nicer at night too, because the sun is not baking you through the glass. That is one thing I've said before about the two of them compared side by side. If you take the 4180 and the 9650, they're about the same noise level, and they're about the same a lot of stuff, but this cab has a lot more glass, and it seems like you're getting cooked in it. Okay. Still own a semi-restored Oliver Cockpit 70 from the 40s. That's cool. After watching your videos, I think about trying to find an Oliver 1950 with the Detroit. Yes, I'd like to have one of those too. There was a guy around me when I was a kid that had one, and he ran triples on it. It was a 1950 two-wheel drive, and instead of duals, he ran triples, and you could hear that thing from a long way away. Not much insults me anymore. Well, I'm kind of the same way. I just take whatever. I use all my tractors on the farm, but right now I can't seem to keep them running. Yes, It is odd how you can have so many tractors and it seems like they never all run at the same time. Roder says, hello from West Tennessee. Hello. Eric says, I saw the future of tractors is not bigger but smaller that are unmanned. I'm wondering that too. If it's going to be smaller tractors that are robotic and they can run 24 hours a day. Hello from Kansas, WagTech. Hello to you. Did you put a Perkins in an 1800B? No, they did not. The Perkins is only in the 1850. Just Bush Hog 4 acres, doing good. The real question is, does Ross hang out with the cows ever? Well, they hang out with me if I'm outside. They follow me all around. Greetings from Fort Knox. Strength and honor for Memorial Day. Good knock. That's cool. My brother-in-law was stationed down there before he married my sister. That's kind of how they met, because he was close enough and he would drive up here. And then he was stationed in our living room every weekend. So, let's see. I look forward to seeing your videos every day. I love seeing your old iron working. Hope to one day own an 88 just like my grandpa had. They are good tractors and they're plentiful, so you'll probably find one sometime. Do you drive the bus too or just work on them? I drive every day. And I even have trips lined up for the summer. I got into driving the girls basketball team, so whenever that season starts, that is pretty well an everyday affair. Let me think about that, Eli. Have a guy near me trying to bale hay on Sunday and the baler tore up. Yep. I've had that luck too. I try not to do it. Have a good evening, says Farron. See you later. You're fine? Yeah, I don't know about that, but 111 people waiting for me to pick my nose. Yep. Ross, I'm heading. Need a set of 9-bolt dual hubs for my 135 if you come across any. I'm not sure what size axle those have. I might have a set of those. Measure it and let me know. The hubs, that is, not, I don't want you to measure it and let me know. Let me know what size axle the 135 has, and then I'll try to do. All I see is an outline of you. Yeah, it's pretty dark here now. Those are pretty nice cabs, yes. Working with tractors is my happy place, yes. I like working in a tractor. Working on them is not bad as long as you're not having to use it right then. Sitting on a tractor is therapeutic, I agree. Night, Ross and friends. Good night, Scott. Thanks, John. Good evening from Ontario. Thanks, Andy. Hope it's going well for me. It's not too bad. Watch out for the cow farts, yes. Gotta go. See you later, Roder. Tim Norman from Norman. Be careful out there. I will try. And Gary, take care and get your farming done. Say hi to your cows and Buddy. Yes, I saw them both earlier. I will hopefully get back to them here shortly, and hopefully they will not be up to any mischief while I am gone. So yeah, I guess I could drive with the light on if people really want to look at my ugly mug, but I needed to see the power shift screen. I can't see out the window with it on, so I have to sit in the dark. Sorry about that. Because when I turn it on, then I do something stupid like go down the wrong spot. So I've always told to use the light, not to use the light when in the car. Yes, and this is a frustration I have driving a school bus, especially on those ball trips with those girls, because the sports bus has a light above every single seat and they all want to turn them on and play on their phones, and I can't hardly see out the window when they do that. So I do have master control. I can shut them all off and then they have to sit in the dark, but it's not as bad when you have all of one or the other, like all girls or all boys. But if you have a mixture like boys basketball and cheerleaders, you can't turn off the lights or they start to propagate. So you have to, yeah. We don't need to go into any more detail about that. Just, I rode in the back of a school bus too. You know. my day, so I know I'm not an idiot. I think they think that the driver is an old man who doesn't know anything, but I remember riding in the back of the bus, so I leave the light on. I have about 2 more passes, I think, and then it'll be done. Yes, if that's what Eli said, interesting things happen in the school bus. If you have a small child that you want to keep innocent as long as possible, do not let them ride the school bus, because they will learn things. Older children do not know how to keep their mouth shut, and your sweet little baby will come home with some new fun 4-letter words to know and share. So, yeah. And that's just from the driver. I don't know about that. Crooked and not even close, but I don't know. Whatever. We'll get it. Somewhere out here in the dark is my pickup, so we'll leave this here and take it home. Hopefully. I don't think I ran into it yet. Well, that Oliver guy just sent me a text, but I don't know that I can look at it and be doing this at the same time, so I'll check that out later, I suppose. It most definitely is not for YouTube Live, I am sure. Bandit! I see Bandit. It says, burning the midnight oil. Yeah. It's going to be midnight before too long now. It's only, what did we say? Well, the 9650 says it's 32:14, but I don't think that's right. 10:36 p.m. So, I worked till midnight the other night, but I'll be done here in another 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. Then we'll stop and read comments and see what we're all discussing. And yes, I need to make it to Ohio, if people do not remember. I did buy another Fiat. This time, hopefully, for parts. I've tried twice now to buy tractors for parts, and I end up keeping them. So I need to get out to Ohio, and Craig went and got it for me, and it's at his house. And then he messaged me the other day that he wants a set of fuel fenders that I have for a white. So I think we're going to do some swapping. So I may not have very much in that 1365 or whatever it is, except going to get it, and the fenders, which I have. But yeah, we'll have to stop and read comments here in a minute when I'm done. But yes, it is. Hopefully, it is still safe and sound at his house, waiting on me to get a free moment to head that way. But the thing about it is, you don't farm, or at least don't do it like I do it. You fall asleep and then run through the get this planted, and then there's still about another week or so of work before you have somewhat of a break, because I need to go back and spray everything. The way I had done it for years was, well, when Grandpa was doing it, he was a firm believer in Roundup, and he would use Roundup and Roundup again. Well, that doesn't work, because Roundup, then the stuff gets resistant to it, and he would wait till it got, 6 or 8 inches tall and then spray it. Well, I don't like to do that. I like to go back immediately and spray it. And if you use some residual stuff, like I use Zidua, and that has had some pretty spectacular results. You mix that in the tank with something else. I use all-in list beans and stuff and Liberty corn, so I could use Liberty on everything, or I could use the E3 Enlist spray, which is like a version of 2,4-D. And so I try to do that right away, and then it keeps the weeds down for a long, long time, and hopefully the beans can get a canopy over them, and then I can usually get by with one more spraying later on in the season, and I'll let the co-op do that, because they don't run down near as much as I would, because they've got tall, narrow tires. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I discovered after the first year of doing that it actually works better to let the beans come out of the ground and then spray it right away when they're just coming out of the ground, because this clay, the one time I did it and I sprayed it before it came up, and wherever my wheel tracks were that beans did not come up, it tightened up the ground enough that they couldn't make it out. So I try to wait now till they come up out of the ground at least, and then go back and spray it. That's kind of more of a headache on corn, because you can't run down the corn or it won't recover, but beans are pretty resilient. When they're little, you can run over them and it's fine. I know some places use a roller and roll down. We never had to do that here, but I would be interested in trying that. People say it makes it super nice in the fall to come by, but I think they mainly do that in places that have a lot of rocks, because it helps smush the rocks down, and you don't pick them up and run them through your machine. But anyway, yeah, I will. I got one more little thing to do here, and then we'll stop and read some comments. I got on another tangent again, so. As far as weed control goes, I don't think you'll ever see anything in your lifetime that will equal Roundup back in its heyday. When that stuff came out, that was super duper amazing. You could spray stuff that was 6 foot tall and it would kill it. And now we've overused it to the point that stuff is resistant to it. And that is the what do you want to say? The struggle that we face. Something good comes along and you overdo it, and then it's no good anymore. We do that to ourselves all the time. Just like when prices go up and then everybody starts raising that crop, and then that makes the price go down. It's the nature of the thing. We're our own worst enemy, is what I'm saying. And that's just the way it is. I think we're almost done. I just got to get back to the other end, and then we'll read the comments and see what we get into. And I can always go back tomorrow in the daylight, fix a screw up if I made a horrible screw up in the dark that I can't see. But I feel like I needed to do this tonight to get ahead of it, because I feel like I'm behind, even though some years I never get stuff planted till after, the 1st of June, but I just as soon have it done as soon as possible. For years, Somebody talked about that the other day. The old timers, it had to be corn first, absolutely corn. You never planted anything till you got your corn done. And I think it's kind of different now. I think it's better to plant the beans first, and you know, they seem to do better, and they get dry faster. And so, do what you want. Don't follow my advice. I'm an idiot. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just do it anyway. So, make your own decisions based on the area you live, your crop conditions, and what have you. Don't let me give you advice and then you lose your whole farm because none of your crops turned out right. I know nothing about where you're from, so that's how we'll leave that. All right. Okay. We'll let it sit and idle here, and we'll go back and read all the comments. I like to let turbo tractors sit and idle for a while before you shut them off. That's just a good idea. Let everything cool off. Okay, here's where we were. Hello from Florida. Well, hello. I was always told not to use the light in the car. We talked about that. Hope the guys don't follow you to your house. I'm surprised they haven't come up on the porch. They have been in the yard before, but not by my choice. How many acres left for tonight? Today I did, between two different places, I think I did, what would it be, 40 some acres, 42 acres or so. But then a lot of that was 2 times. And then like this soil finisher is the 3rd pass, so you figure that I did like 80 to 100 acres maybe of soil work today if you go over it twice. I don't know. People don't think about that. You know, even if it's a 10-acre field, if you go over it 3 times, you've done 30 acres. So, yeah. Let's see. Are umbrellas worth it an open cab tractor? I have a few old school umbrellas and I like them on there because it's neat. Really the only thing I think where they are maybe useful is while you're baling. A lot of times I think the wind will cause you more grief with them. I feel your pain on that one, yeah. Oh yeah, let's see. What happens in the back of the bus stays in the back of the bus, yep. Buggy tops hold up better. I would agree with that too. I think they are shaped to kind of shed the wind more. We can turn on the light while we're sitting here talking. Donald, I drove a school bus for 12 years. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, we've talked about that before. It is quite the adventure sometimes. I would usually rather not have a cab. Working ground last week, I sure appreciated the AC in the 450. Yes, when it is hot and muggy outside, I really like this cab for that reason. It is a lot nicer. Let's see here. I sat in the back of the bus once. Ever since I've sat in the front and talked to the driver. Yeah, burned the midnight oil. Did that. I usually sit in the front seat on the bus, but it wasn't by my choice. Yeah, we've had days like that too. I did those trips for 17 years. Band trips needed all the lights. Yeah, the band kids. People seem to think they're sweet and innocent, but they are not. So, yeah. And consequently, the worst trip I ever took, as far as I told them I didn't want to do it anymore, was a band trip to IU. And you took them there for all day, and they went, and then at nighttime they all played together in a big group with the IU band, and that was terrible. I took them there, and they parked me on a street that they closed off, and they parked all the buses, and they wouldn't let me leave, and I had to sit there all day baking in the sun with nowhere to go. And you know, I wasn't going to walk somewhere. I mean, I could have walked, I guess, blocks away and went somewhere, but I wasn't doing that. So that was an awful, awful time. What else we got? See, now it skipped ahead, and now I'm not where I was. There we go. Were you seatbelted in, Craig? Yeah, okay, no. They probably didn't have them back then. 1555 diesel to 14... Yeah. The Fiats can be frustrating. Take a break from it and come back to it. They didn't have seatbelts back then. And Bandit going to show us the 1850 videos. I agree. Bandit, we need more videos. What in the world are you doing? I just got in for spraying beans. Adam, I was running the Landau over some ground. You can work all night and you're still not that far ahead. I agree, it feels like that sometimes. Bandit says, as soon as I get time. Sure been busy lately. Gotcha, I've been watching you. Oliver Super 66, he had it out plowing on Bohm. I did see that video. Craig's talking about the Bohm Farm video. I saw Craig on the D19 and Bandit was plowing with the 1800. Did you get the pump? Grandpa bought 5055 diesel in the 90s with 900 hours. Wow, that was super low hours. Bought part-time to farm one season, and then got out of farming. Yeah, when I was in school, the bus driver was still allowed to stop the bus and tune you up. I wish you could still do that because I could solve a lot of problems on the first day. I sprayed right on my planter. I've thought about doing that. I know guys who used to do that. The reason I have not done that is because I don't want, if I have to get out and work on the planter or something, I really don't want to be working in all the spray that I just sprayed. I just have that in my mind that that's not probably very healthy. Let's see here. See, now it skipped ahead again. Spray right on my planter. Okay, we just talked about that. Still haven't found a guy to work on the pump locally, so it might be headed to Kentucky. If you can't get that pump fixed, get it up here to me and I'll take it to my guy. He does a good job and he's not that expensive. Don't put those beans in your ears. When are you going to see more in the Heart Park? I hope so. I just got to get free time. The buildings are taking priority. I started welding on that manifold, but that is going to be a tall order. Jacob's video had me wonder in the 1850, we've talked about that. Thanks, Tom. Tom says, love your videos, thank you. Dang, Eli, did you win the lottery? I know, he's combine hungry. He wants a lot of combines. I have a good time in 966, pulling 418s. Planted beans the other day, and they really need a rain. Yes, they do. You got an LED in that dome light? I don't remember what I've got in there. I don't think it worked when I got the tractor, so I think I probably put one in. I don't know. It doesn't, the door switch is broke, so you can't have it set where it comes on when you open the door, or it will just run the battery dead. I need to get a switch. And what's happening here? Something is happening. There we go. Are we getting caught up here in comments? You need to cover some air conditioning in your cab tractors. You know, air conditioning for a long time, I know people knocked it. If you have a cab like this, you really have to have the air conditioning working. With all this glass, it is so hot in here. If the air conditioner didn't work, it would be better to bust out the glass and just make it into a canopy. Bandit says, I was in the band, but I didn't think it was that bad. Well, that's back when the school teachers were old Mennonite women and they could hit you with a spoon. So they probably kept little Bandit in line. My band kids are nuts, saying that as a band kid. One set of kids smearing pizza on the I remember when they got rowdy and stopped the bus, yeah. My thing is with the combines is I'm afraid they will be gone. Yeah, I agree. I'm a fan of saving combines because they are disappearing, and that we don't need to do that. We need to save some of them before people realize that they'll all be gone. So yeah. Bandit, how did you get your nickname, Smokey and the Bandit? I'm curious on that too. I was going to cut it off, but I want to hear Bandit's answer. Tell us, Bandit, how did you get your nickname? I'm burning gallons of diesel fuel sitting here waiting on you to answer. Will he answer? I got a 1950 Massey Harris currently rebuilding a Continental engine. What a task. I always thought those were hard to find parts for too, but I'm not sure. Let's hear this. You know, I was thinking you could buy a lot of fuel for $800. Think back to the price of the fuel sender. Yeah, you can. This year's a lot cheaper. Last year when we were doing it, it was $500 to fill the tank in the back of my truck, and that would last one afternoon. This year it's $372. So I was the Frito Bandito when Dad had the station, and over the years it shortened to Bandit. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day, the Frito Bandito. You wouldn't be able to show that commercial today or they would get super offended. So, Bandit is watching closely and thinking, gotta go. People calling me about some museum stuff. Okay, I agree. I'm gonna have to say goodbye to everyone because we're done and there's no need to waste fuel. Craig is working on that green 7300. Cool. Could be the Dukes of Hazzard and Roscoe. Yep. I thought maybe he likes to steal. The Bandit. Well, I'm going to call it here. I'm pulling the tape off the phone, so we'll say our last goodbyes. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I got to figure out how to end it. I think I got my button taped up here. See you all later.